Bloodshot Dawn. I play guitar and do lead vocals.
I'm Ben from Bloodshot Dawn. I play lead guitar, I do some backing vocals. Welcome to Metalship in Tokyo.
The band formed in 2003. The current lineup, established itself around three and a half to 4 years ago. About that, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm the last person who joined the band, and I joined, I think, at the end of 2009, like in November 2009. So it's been about 3
years.
Yeah, about 3 years now. So
I mean, since Ben joined the band, this is when we became, started taking the band. Well, the band has always been a serious band, but this is where we really decided that we could step up to the next level. We finally had the lineup that we felt, was adequate to take on the world scene rather than just on a local level. Currently in the band, there's no other original members from when I began the band. But saying this, the band, at that point we were very young, 15-year-olds, in school, just playing, playing whatever we knew really. We've kind of grown. I've grown as a musician with the band, so I've come from a very low level of quality of musician to what's become today, being influenced by the other members.
for me, I'd been only in one other sort of serious metal band, and that was actually with Josh again.
With all of the members of Bloodshot Dawn, but with a different vocalist and a different name and style.
Yeah, so we've all actually been in a band together before, just a different band. Similar kind of style, like Gothenburg style, Swedish melodic death metal kind of thing. And that was actually our bassist, it was his band, so he wrote all the music for that. We only did a couple of gigs, but we were together for a year and a half, and just did lots of practicing together. So it's actually been really good for this band. We all knew each other already, we'd all played with each other, so it made making this band a lot easier. So, and then I think the others, it was a similar thing for them. They'd been in a couple of bands before, but nothing really serious. But it's all been really good because it just meant everyone got used to playing in a metal band, and just got really good at playing live. So we were in a band, it was called Carmine.
It was quite enjoyable to play, but I mean, the reason I ended up leaving that was to focus on this band, and the irony of it being that I left and then they all followed. I slowly, one by one, got each member from that band to join this band as my other band members flaked away, and lost interest. So yeah, like Ben said, having Carmine was kind of a foundation for what we've become now. Not that we knew it at the time, obviously, but it was never the intention for that band to become this band, but I'm pretty pleased it has happened that way. We were kind of just like, I don't know, like hardcore sort of, metal, fairly generic, riffage. Obviously we were young, so, we were, our music taste wasn't very broad, we were like Metallica and...
In 2003?
Yeah, when we were younger. And obviously over the years we've, as any music fan would know, your music taste grows as you discover new music, and we all love the similar musics, but each of us has like a real niche of music that we really love.
Into quite modern bands, very melodic things. I like stuff that's really heavy, but melody is the thing that I really love. So bands like Scar Symmetry have been a massive influence on me, and then even some bands, some newer, more progressive bands, like there's a band from Poland called Disperse. I really love their stuff, and it's super melodic and all that kind of thing. But bands like Arch Enemy and In Flames as well. So I really like the melodic side, and then we've got our drummer Doug. I mean, we all like the same bands, but he also brings more influence from heavier bands, like some really brutal.
Bands like like Origin and really extreme brutal, to even bands like Devourment and Guttural Secrete, like obscure brutal death metal bands. I mean, for me and Doug as well, our drummer, we're also really influenced by Polish death metal like Vader, and so you can see that we have a very vast array of influences. And I mean, the real struggle is piecing all this music together into one sound with all these separate influences. I mean, that's what we basically try to do with the album, is to mold it all into one and make it smooth, instead of being like 1 second we're doing a grindcore bit and then the next second it's like really happy melodic stuff. So we've in 2009 we entered a competition which is run nationwide in the UK called Metal to the Masses, which basically you get like 20 venues across the UK, and in each venue one band get a spot at the Bloodshot Festival. So in 2009 we got the chance to play alongside bands such as Carcass and Arch Enemy and At the Gates, and that was a real big step for us, because obviously as an underground band we were used to playing to like 3 guys and our friends and the sound guy, but we got to play Bloodstock, and then they gave us a taste of what could be. We played to over 1,000 people, and that really that was a real turning point for me, to make me realise that we could push into the scene as a professional band rather than being just a hobby. I'd say also, like for me, the biggest turning point in the band was actually having this guy join, because as well as bringing a new sound in lead guitar, he brought a new music writing style to the band. Before we had some melody, but it was more focused on the Polish side of things, but Ben really injected a new sort of sound into us, and it took a bit of time to mould together, but we've gradually worked it in, and I think that's what's created the album, really, the sound that we have. Well, I wouldn't say we're openly looking for a label. I mean, obviously it would be nice. We've contacted all the labels. We released our album with Terrorizer magazine from the UK, and they basically sent it out with the magazine to all the A&Rs from all the labels, and so they all know we exist, and we're kind of just waiting to see what happens. Like as an unsigned band, obviously, being able to get to Japan without a label and stuff like this, we've achieved a lot by ourselves. So we feel that we'd like to have a label, but we want a label who want to inject more into us and push us more into the limelight, rather than someone who just wants to take our CD sales, because we do all that ourselves. We do all our distribution, except for in Japan we have someone who helps us distribute in Disc Union, but other than that we distribute worldwide ourselves. So it's just a case of waiting for the right person to come along and give us the deal we need to progress as a band. So it's just a waiting game, I think. I mean, I'm pretty sure someone will give us a deal at some point. Well, we hope so, anyway. The foundation was initially set up because, unfortunately, quite a few years ago, well, about 5 years ago, Sophie Lancaster was a young girl who was unfortunately murdered, basically, because of the way she looked, because she, had sort of gothic stylings, and she was targeted for no reason at all, and it was basically set up by her mother, Sylvia, who works closely with, especially in the UK. I think there's stuff done worldwide, but Bloodstock Festival as well endorsed the charity. one of the stages is actually named after Sophie Lancaster, the stage we played on this year. And basically it's just raising awareness of, you know, making sure people don't, you know, making people aware of these problems in our society.
Yeah, it's trying to change opinions where people might, you know, be prejudiced against someone for anything like the way they look or their religion or where they come from. It's trying to stop people maybe thinking that it's wrong to look different or something. It's trying to bring awareness through, like they do work at schools and with local police and government and things, to try and raise awareness about this. So it's a really good cause.
We don't like the way, you know, not just in metal, you know, in any form of life, you know, people shouldn't judge people for the way they look or what they listen to, you know.
We have a new song out, which is the first new song since the album came out. It's a track called Theoctony, and it's a single. We released it basically with any money that the song earns. All the money goes straight to the Sophie Lancaster Foundation.
It's digital format only. I mean, the plan for the song is, I mean, as long as obviously we're going to be beginning writing a second album soon, and I mean, we really like the song, so hopefully it will appear on the next album. But we wanted to give fans a taste of what's to come, and you know, we felt that doing it for a charitable cause will obviously add interest to the song. But as well as that, you know, it's like people who pay for it have the chance to pay what they want, and like we said, all proceeds will be going to the charity. In the first weekend we had, I think we raised maybe £60, which is, you know, it's unbelievable, like considering people can easily download it for free if they would like.
It was released, our debut album, it was completely self-produced in terms of we paid for, you know, the creation of it. As I said earlier, we recorded with Stefano Morabito in Rome. We released it at the beginning of the year, January 26th. And as a genre, we describe ourselves in the album, I guess, as melodic death thrash metal. So we've got, like, you know, melodic death metal influences, thrash metal influences, death metal. And basically it's 11 tracks long. I think it comes to about 52 minutes. We've got we try to balance things out, so we have quite a lot of different lyrical themes. There's no specific concept behind the album, but we have a lot of our lyrical themes are, I guess, about things to do with this Sophie Lancaster Foundation, the whole intolerance thing and prejudice. There's a lot of lyrical themes that connect to that. We also have other lyrical themes about sort of end of the world and, you know, apocalyptic kind of ideas and stuff. We like to, you know, we watch quite a lot of documentaries and things on that kind of thing. So we're interested in all those kind of you know, sort of prophecies and ideas like that. So we kind of look into things like that as well.
Thanks.
Cheers, dude.
Cool, man.